Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
The song is very fitting for a day like today. The boys are back in town. Guess who just got back today? My name's Nate Brennan. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, the 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. You're listening On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket, 402-464-5685. Sorry, Raymond text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. As always, we want to hear from you guys. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. That's the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream. See what's going on here in studio. Because we're back. We are back, Strick. It feels good.
It does. It feels good. And here's the crazy thing. I was sitting at home, and I was like, am I going to go down to the studio today?
Yeah, it's not too bad today.
It was actually pretty nice outside. It's good. It's refreshing. It's that drive. And then I needed to wash my car. So I need to wash my car, too. It was looking a little terrible.
I also need to get a new wheel well for my top left wheel. My front left wheel fell off.
Did it really?
Yeah. Well, it's that like piece of plastic that goes around the rim or whatever they call it. I'm not a car guy. You probably noticed that by now, but I'm not a car guy. But I know the wheel well fell off and I need to get a new one. I know that.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff, man. I mean, listen.
There's a lot of good. We'll get right into it.
We'll get into it, man. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, first of all, we hate that we missed you guys on Monday. We always love to tap in and, touch base with our blockheads and those who are out there.
We got to visit with family too, though.
But we got a chance to hang out with some family and friends, and we made it through the weather, through the storm. And listen, at least we weren't like Buffalo. It was absolutely sickening what happened up in Buffalo. Did you see when they arrived from their trip?
Bills?
How the Bills? Yeah. So it's crazy.
Feet, not foot. Feet.
Yes, feet. Over 6 feet. They say.
That's insane.
Hey, people were opening up their doors, and it was literally as tall as them.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
No.
But I'm glad it missed us because we really was on the verge of it. We were on the tip of it, the iceberg of it, but it just kind of crept past us.
Yep.
So we didn't get all of the ice that we could have gotten. And so that was good. I mean, it was good. So there's a lot of sports that are going on out there. We're definitely going to tap in on that. Rural and the Huskers have been absolutely busy. And then there's some that are kind of tapping out and looking to kind of find greater pastures elsewhere. So that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of it. We'll get Cluster's opinions and Steve Sipple as well, too, because the biggest news of the day, and we'll get right into it, Strick, Garrett Nelson tweeting today and officially making it official that he will declare for the 2023 NFL Draft. And I know you touched on it a little bit, Strick, but we got some time now to go a little bit more in depth and just kind of your initial thoughts. I'll be honest, my first one is it kind of surprised me. I did not expect this. I thought that Garrett Nelson would hang around, but I'm happy for him. If this is the decision that he spoke with the higher ups, his family, his friends, and decided this was the best move, happy for him. Wish him the best. But I think it's a big blow to Nebraska. I mean, you got to think last year he was a second team All Big Ten player, and you're losing that in a team that's going to have a lot of turnover, that's going to have a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces, and he was maybe going to be that veteran leader there on the outside. I know we talked about it. The 3-3-5 might have factored into this decision. Very well might not have, but just kind of thinking out loud here. What do you think, Strick? Right move, wrong move, or indifferent?
Well, I think it's probably deeper than what we also think about, right? This is some of the stuff we've got to think about with regards to Garrett. Well, let's just talk numbers first, and then I'll get into the depth of it. He's shown progression over the course of his career, going from 15 total tackles to 30, doubling that, then almost doubling it again, and then in his final year at 65. Yeah. Those numbers are pretty similar as you get into solos, and then as you get into assists, the numbers were the same, and the sack numbers were the same. So from a number standpoint, you've got to look at it from one forced fumble and then 2 fumble recovery. So that's one of the things that he had going for him as well. So when you look at the numbers, you have to ask the question, has he peaked? Is there another level of which Garrett Nelson can go to in a senior year? Or if he's peaked, is he looking at it from a standpoint of being second team, being honored as a second team All Big Ten player, and Now let's get into the depth of the nuance for me. Then you've got to look at the fact that he came into Mike Riley under his direction. You've been now under what, 3, going on 4 defensive coordinators.
4, yeah.
Basically 4. So now you're looking at going under 4, learning a whole new system, a whole new style. You probably were starting to like what Bill Bush was putting together, and you found yourself getting comfortable. Now you have to deal with another person who's going to be bringing in a different scheme, a different recruiting type of class, and what you're looking for, and that could be difficult for a young man. And so I'm not going to say, I fault him or I'm down on him, but I will say I think it's a bad mistake. I don't think I like him. I just don't know if those numbers stand out for me. I don't know if he runs well enough. I think he could be a great special teams guy to start off. Maybe he has a solid motor. So, those things will go well for him. But I would say I think he had a better chance to me than O'Shawn Mathis in the numbers that he put up. Because if you look at his film, there's nothing on his film this year that showed me that he would be somebody I would jump out the box for. You go back to O'Shawn Mathis's numbers, and his numbers outside of 2020, where he had 9 sacks, he regressed.
Right.
As far as I can see.
I think that with the O'Shawn Mathis discussion, that becomes more of, I think that he has the size to compete at the next level.
He has the measurables.
I'd probably call Garrett Nelson a bit of a tweener.
Undersized guy.
The thing that just surprises me about all of this is you look at a guy like that, he's someone that benefits off of NIL. And I look at the possibility of playing in the NFL, and I know that's probably been his dream. This is what he thinks is the best direction. But if you stay at the University of Nebraska, I would be shocked if you're not getting a pretty handsome NIL deal if you're Garrett Nelson. You're a hometown kid, homegrown Husker. You've been a part of the program for longer than anyone, and you led the team in sacks last season. Yeah. So I'm assuming that probably was part of his decision-making, but this is the first thing that really came to mind when I think about someone like that. You look at JoJo Domann last year, second-team All-American, second-team All-Big Ten. Probably you could argue that he was the best player on that defense. He went undrafted.
Yeah.
So that has to go as a part of your decision making. Now, for what it's worth,
and he was a big impact player.
He was, and he was one of those guys that when you watch Nebraska play, you said, "Oh, damn, look at that guy! Like that guy it makes an impact. He's a difference maker." He didn't get drafted. For what it's worth, JoJo Domann having some success with the Indianapolis Colts, made the team, scored a touchdown a couple weeks ago, a key part of that special teams unit. But I just look at a player like that, and if he's not getting drafted, I don't know what to expect for these other guys. I really don't. And again, I'm not going to fault for the kid for entering the NFL draft. Good for him. If you have the skill set to even consider entering the NFL draft, good for you. But I'm with you, Strick. I just look at the NIL and the situation and where we stand with college football. I think it maybe could have benefited him stay another year.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And that's why I say, guys, sometimes – I don't know because I haven't got a chance to talk to him, but I just really do think about it and I say, there's got to be something else to it. And one of the things that I think some of our listeners don't know is the back end parts of collegiate athletics. Like there's so much that goes into it. One, you're talking about class, a class schedule that has to be
at a top-tier university.
Top-tier university.
Yes.
Then you have to talk about, you have to maintain probably a certain amount of grade point average because they count those and take that into account.
Right.
Then you're talking about learning a playbook, grading, weight room, training table. He's going to need to get bigger because of the position that he plays. Because to me, he's not a 3-4 linebacker because I don't know if his drop skills are there yet. I think he could develop it.
Big enough to play on the line.
He's not big enough for a 4-3 for me or a 3-5 in any fashion. Because I don't think he can play the outside. I'm sorry, 3-4. So he's a tweener guy. He's
Yes.
similar to Doman in the
Right.
same way that he came into the league. So I don't know, man. I just think there's so many of those things that they don't know. People don't know on the back end. And so as a young man, it's a lot more free to just know that you've got to just work in film, work on your book, work on your grading system,
Your nutrition.
get yourself together.
Right.
It's a lot easier than probably what most people would think about a college schedule. I'm
Right.
just being honest.
And for what it's worth, too, Garrett Nelson will leave with a degree from the university. So even if things don't go his way, he will finish with a degree. Before we head to a break here in a second, Strick, I will say, too, he is a high motor guy. And you look at him and a JoJo Doman, even if he doesn't get drafted, he'll get picked up. He'll get a tryout.
Somebody pick him
get a
up. He
shot.
could land on a scout team. Not unless he
He'll get a
just
shot.
gets into the right spot. He'll get a shot. I'm more worried about, Alshon Mathis. Like, he didn't show me he could get separation like what I was hoping to see from him.
Right.
But
It'll be interesting to see. And there's definitely going to be more Huskers at the end of the draft, too. These will not be the first. They're not the first, and they certainly won't be the last. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Clister Johnson, two-time national champion, joins us next right here on The Block.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years and can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else, whether it's residential, apartments, or churches. They're always a call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family to Lincoln's largest drive-through Christmas lights experience. This show features countless high-quality lights in vibrant colors, holiday props, and favorite characters of the season, all synchronized to music to enjoy in your car. Start a new holiday tradition this year and experience the magic of Nebraska Christmas Light Show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd, 5 p.m. to midnight. Purchase tickets today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning in to Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Help me understand offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield when he said that he has a position less off.
We want to do all this stuff that people are doing. Tricks don't last in football. You may trick one team, but you're not going to trick a whole conference. That's what you're not going to do. You got to come play Big Ten football.
And that's what it might be, is another learning process, another coaching staff having to be humbled by the Big Ten before they realize you just got to at least get the basics.
He said he talked to Scott Frost, so he knows.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation, or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake, or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We should see decreasing cloud cover and warmer conditions today with a high of around 43. Winds a bit brisk out of the south-southwest at 15 to 20. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of around 29. We'll see increasing cloud cover late in the day tomorrow, but mild temps with a high of 46. I'm Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket. My name's Nate Brennan. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln Hotline. As always, we want to hear from you. Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream is also up and running. We're back in studio, so go check us out. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And we're going to head to the Honda Lincoln Hotline, where we have one of our favorites, friend of the show, two-time national champion, Clester Johnson. Clester, what's going on?
Hey, I'm here. It's the Christmas spirit. I'm on my way to New Year's. Let's start the New Year's off right. Let's do it.
Yeah. Absolutely, Sibo. A lot of news out there. A lot of stuff has been popping off over the weekend. Obviously, you have bowl games going on. It was a big weekend for both the NFL as well as NBA, but we're not going to talk about that right now. A few things that popped up in the Nebraska football realm, and I just want to get your thoughts on it, being a former player and also what you've been able to observe. So listen, Garrett Nelson finds himself jumping off into the NFL draft. As I looked at his numbers, some of the things I mentioned was he's shown progression over the course of his years, his growth. He seems to have been kind of leveled off. The production has pretty much been the same over the last few years. He's now a Big Ten second team selection. And so he finds himself deciding to jump off in there. I shared there's probably nuance to that as to possibly why. And I just would love to get an insight from a football perspective, someone that's on the inside of football, and what your thoughts is about him jumping in.
Yes, I also saw that O'Shawn Mathis jumped in. So
break it both down.
It's looking like Nebraska, that's going to be one of their positions of need. So, just having the opportunity to look at this year, obviously it was kind of an up and down year. I do feel that Garrett Nelson being a captain is a big deal. That lets teams know that he has leadership qualities and that people really depended on him as a guy who gets things started. So that's a plus. I do feel like this was probably his best year. I mean, when you make second team all Big Ten, and the Big Ten conference is considered a defensive conference. If you look across the country, if you look at the stats, I want to say 6 or 7 Big Ten teams are ranked in the top 15 of defense. Now, obviously, it's style of play. You got a lot of teams that do, they're running, not a lot of passing. So, the Big Ten is a big run conference. It's run, controlling the clock. What's the right time, Strick? That's the thing. What is the right time to go to the draft? I mean, the kid's been there for, 5 years already, I want to say. And, maybe he just feels like, hey, I'm second team all Big Ten. There's a new staff coming in. I don't know what's going to happen there. Are we going to improve? Are we not going to improve? And I think he's also seen success with players who have left, not having no winning seasons. Who's the kid, the DB that got drafted last year? He went in the second round, and then you had the center last year went in the second or third round. So, I mean, you have players that have left and have had success, even though the team haven't had a lot of success. And I think Garrett Nelson probably saw that and said, hey, I'm not sure I can improve my status even anymore. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this.
Two-time national champion Cluster Johnson joining us. Cluster, I want to ask you your perspective on the NIL and all of this, because I know that college football has evolved since you were a player. NIL is now a thing. Do you think that maybe that will be kind of a selling point to keep players in the college ranks? Because that's what me and Strick were talking about, is that if a player like Garrett Nelson comes back, you'd have to assume that he'd have some type of NIL deal on the table. Do you think that's part of the decision-making process?
Well, it just really depends on what staff it is. I think it depends on what your position is in the college ranks. I do know teams like Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, now Colorado. There are some teams in that upper echelon that they are fighting for 5-star players and the high 4-star players. So that's what I'm noticing. It's the high-end player, the high 4, high 5-star. Those are the people who are getting money. Right. Those are the people you're going to have to coerce a little bit more about the incentives that they'll get if they come. And then you have guys in the transfer portal that are considered high status players. These are the players that probably have proven themselves. They're going to be able to get more money. And then you have staffs, right? So there are some staffs that are going to be like, listen, I don't really want a player who only will come here if it's about the money. Because one of the things that we're going to run into now is, hey, I'm going to pay you all this money. What's going to be my return? What's going to be my ROI on this? Just the fact that you came? Like, that's the thing that's kind of bothering me now. I think the guys that have been putting in the work are the ones that should probably get the most money. We don't know what these young freshmen or young high school kids are going to do. But I do realize those 5-stars, they're just naturally going to get money. They're going to get money. But all these other kids, they shouldn't be concerned. They need to get to college and they need to earn who they are, earn who they're going to be. Because there's a lot of guys that they're going to get money and teams are not going to get ROI. Like, do you think Nebraska felt like the coldest Crawford? Did they get return on their investment with that? I'm sure the company didn't feel too good about him leaving.
Yeah, Sebo, that's one of the things that I call Cluster Johnson, 2-time national champion. I call him Sebo. Sebo, listen, that is the craziest thing I think about it is I've shared that same thing, that same sentiment, is that, you know, and I got kind of a lot of a pushback about it, is these young men coming in and just getting the freaking doors open to them, the freaking vault. The money vault opened up to them, and they haven't done anything. They haven't shown anything. They haven't, and so I'm starting to ask, where's the ROI? You know, like there's nothing in business. Any investor, any business owner, any shop owner, well, it doesn't matter if it's a S&P 500 company or if it's just a low end, you know, community business owner. None of them invest in their businesses or their companies without knowing or having an expectation or working for an ROI. And and this is what's throwing me off, is that these kids are getting dropped loads of money, and they're kids, they're young men. I mean, they don't understand the full nuance of what that means, right? To work for it, to strive for it. And so they have an unexpected, they have an unexpected expectation about what life really is. And so go ahead and talk about that, just as young men.
Absolutely. That is great. A great point. And I'm sure all of these teams are currently thinking about exactly what you're talking about right now, Strick, is what is the incentive? Once these kids get the money, what's the incentive for them to perform and do well? Obviously, when you're a pro player, you usually typically come in, if you're a first round draft pick, obviously there's an amount of money you're going to get. For basketball and football, you're going to usually come in at a higher rate. But then you got your, what, quote unquote, your rookie contract. And if you have performed, then you'll be rewarded, right?
Yeah.
So what these teams are going to have to probably come up with these kids are, hey, listen, here's a scale of how you're perceived. You're a 5-star, you're a 4-star, or whatever. They're going to have to come up with something. Or maybe across the board said, hey, listen, all of our freshmen, they come in at this. Once you perform, basically, we can come back and renegotiate. That's basically what it's going to turn into, unfortunately. And then some of these kids are going to probably end up at some point. I'm telling you, this is going to happen, y'all. Remember, we discussed this on December 27th
on the block
of 2023. We're going to start having 2022. We're going to start having kids have representation. We're going to start having kids with agents. We're going to start having kids going, hey, listen, my son was a first team, such and such as a freshman or as a sophomore. He's coming back next year. Either he'll go into the portal and go get money somewhere else because he got one more year he has to play. Or, if he stays, this is what we think he's worth. I'm telling you, eventually it's going there. It's going to get bold out here, y'all. Because as you can see, a lot of these players from these non-Power 6 schools, from these Group of 5 schools, a lot of these guys are leaving.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are performing well at Buffalo, and they're going into the portal and getting these huge offers is because, hey, they've proven themselves.
On tape.
Now they're starting to grow into their bodies, and they've gotten stronger, and they got good PER ratings. So, yeah, it's about to change. We're just in the beginning stages of college players becoming professionals.
The crazy thing about what you just said, Sebo, people would think that you and I really get these kind. They're like, oh, that him and Strick, yeah, because they're friends, and no wonder they're saying the same type of stuff. See,
just like you.
I was saying the same, and listen, they about cut my fingers off. Like I felt like I was in a mafioso or something. they about cut my fingers off in here when I was saying some of the same stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm not saying this is rule. I'm not saying, and I'm not talking Matt Rule. I'm not saying this is the rule of the day. I'm just saying that the NCAA, if they want to get more bark to they bite, or more bite to they bark, let me say that, switch it that way. They get more bite to they bark, they need to come up with a system and try to figure out how to solve this solution. And that's part of what I was saying. Make it a scale. If you've got this, if the NCAA is going to be some form of a league where you're making it a minor league and you're training them in this method, then you might as well get them started early, and this would be the way to do it. So I said the same thing.
I'm going to say, unfortunately, Strick, I don't think at this point the NCAA is becoming powerless. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a conference deal. It's just like conferences now. When you go to bowl games, you got to give all the money, to the conference, and the conference will distribute it evenly amongst the teams. I think the conferences are going to come up with rules like freshman scales. This is the freshman scale, and so on and so forth. I think it's going to become more of a conference deal. And that's where the competition is really going to come in, because now it's like, hey, if I go to SEC, I'm going to get this. Well, now the Big Ten is going to have to match what the SEC is doing, and so on and so forth. That's what I think is going to happen, because there's no way the NCAA is going to be able to mandate across these conferences what they feel like they should do, because there's already becoming a time where these conferences are going, you know what, we don't have to listen to what the NCAA say anymore. We could just become our own entity, and we don't even have to deal with y'all. Like, there was a time where that was starting to
that's why
happen.
we friends.
People started to say those type of things, and so I'm just thinking, it ain't going back, y'all. Listen, it's never going back where kids are not going to get paid anymore, because they've opened Pandora's box. It's open.
Toothpaste out
the tube.
And now it's about how we're going to kind of regulate it where it's not the Wild Wild West, because that's what it is right now.
Wow. All I can say is wow. I've said
great
this.
Stuff, Cluster, yeah.
It's great stuff. I've said it. It's just, I think it goes deeper. But listen, man, we could go on and on about this, Sibo. I appreciate you. And look, this wasn't a cosign. Me and him didn't discuss this.
Right.
We didn't go into details about this. We talk over the holidays. This is not something. This is just how we're trying to figure out solutions to a major problem that maybe has not yet hit its full brunt yet, but it is on the way, and it is something that's going to possibly happen very sooner than later. So it's just good to have that discussion.
The quick question, though, Strick, though, is it a problem? That's the thing. Is it a problem? Because for a long time, though, we've been, I think society have been screaming, man, these schools are making so much money. The kids are not getting any of the money. Okay, it's here now. So I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's progression. Because we've been fighting for this.
Yeah.
It's progressed to this now. So, okay, so how can we kind of regulate it where, again, it's not the Wild Wild West? You got this guy over here getting $1 million, or this guy getting $500,000, this guy getting nothing, this guy, so
well, then the richer gets richer in that situation.
How we make it a little bit more fair.
Yeah, fair.
It's never going to be totally fair, because that, like Stephen A. says, fair is a place where they judge pinks, and it's never going to be that. So, but we got to figure something out how we can get a little closer.
Yeah, Cluster, man, good stuff. It sounds like I'm talking to Strick right now. I mean, you guys are echoing the same stuff. Cluster, great stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, my brothers. Talk to y'all. Have a good holiday season. Have a happy New Year.
You too, my brother.
You too. That's great stuff from Cluster Johnson, man. It sounds like you, Strick. How about
it's
that?
crazy. You would think, I'm telling you, you would think that me and him, or I say, hey, talk about this. But that didn't happen. And it's good. It's good when you're kind of have somebody. Yeah,
too,
it's really
because,
good. It's a necessity.
And we'll talk about it during the 3 o'clock hour. I know there's kind of a discussion you wanted to dive into,
Definitely.
Strick, and we talk about the transfer portal and the NIL and everything. Sam Hartman's a perfect example. He just declared the transfer portal today, and they said he's expected to go to Notre Dame. what's happening behind the scenes.
Something.
We'll talk about that at the beginning of the next hour. First, we got to get to Shootout with Strick. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline. Give us a call. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Coming up next, right here on the block.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation, or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate. Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side. Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation, or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. And if you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
It's like when people thought that Jared Crick was amazing. I mean, he's still really good. He made it to the NFL.
No,
and then that season after,
no,
Ndamukong Suh left, it was like, oh yeah, Jared Crick's okay.
That's completely false, and I hate that narrative because it's false. Now you're in trouble. Look up Jared Crick's sophomore to junior numbers.
Sophomore year, 9.5 sacks.
How many tackles for loss?
12.5.
That's all with Suh. Now, in the next year,
he had 9.5 sacks.
Well, that's the same.
And 14.5 sacks.
Oh, and that's
for
more.
loss.
So he is actually better without Suh.
Rico here for Little Brooklyn Daycare. Look, I have 2 young kids, and my wife
and I both have full-time jobs. So we need a place we can trust to take care of our kids during the day. That place is Little Brook Daycare. And now they're enrolling for kids from 2 years old to school age. And they're also hiring experienced teachers. Call them today at 402-742-0363 to schedule a tour to see if it's the right fit for you and your kids. Little Brooklyn Daycare, located in Fallbrook in Northwest Lincoln.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
That is correct. It is time to play the game. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you got to do is beat the Husker Hall of Famer at his own game. 402-464-5685. Honda of Lincoln Hotline. Give us a call. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. Strick, how you feeling today?
Well,
did you lose while I was gone?
I did, but it was actually to
oh no, you lost
to you. You got lucky.
Oh, I got lucky.
It was on the on the freaking you guessed the over under. I should have made you do it.
I know I did. I'm just pretty good at this game. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, we were both remote.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. How was the Friday show? Friday show good?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. We had a good time
holding it down, and then we all had off yesterday, spending time with our families, and we are back today. Both back in studio. It feels good. And also, Strick, I don't know if you saw, the weather isn't supposed to be too bad this week either.
I love it.
It's supposed to be a decent week. I mean,
it's
it'll
going to be
cold.
a decent week.
It'll be cold, but it won't be that cold.
No, it won't be as bad as it was. I mean, if you can deal with the brunt and the beast of that wind, if you can deal with what we just went through, this is nothing. This is lovely.
This next week will be a breeze.
Yeah.
But you like that. All right, 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, we need a contestant.
It's good to be back on the block.
We're back on the block. We need someone to compete against Strick for $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Again, all you got to do.
But just understand, Stricky is okay with forfeits. I listen. I'm not one to have to run away from the forfeit. I love it. You guys just go ahead and give it to me.
You get the $15
I love
Buffalo Wings and Rings. I don't know. Have we ever
no, but
had
I miss the blockheads, man. I listen. It's been a long time. I mean, it feels like forever. You know, you go through the weekend and don't show up on Monday. It just felt like
I know.
forever.
Well, were you in the studio at all last week?
No. It was iceberg slim outside.
Yeah, iceberg slim. I kind of like that. It was definitely cold. Well, I think I saw somewhere it got down to like 45 below zero.
Not here. No.
Yeah. Well, no, wind chill. Feel like.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If we're wrong, 402-464-5685. Somebody confirm that for me, because maybe I just didn't go out that day. But
I would hope you didn't go out.
But what I tell you,
it was Thursday morning.
When that wind hit, when I took the trash out, like, you know, you're behind the building, and when you're behind the building, it's cool. You know, you're like, all right, cool. This is all right.
It's not as bad.
But when I stepped out from behind that building, my gosh, it hurt.
I know.
Like my face, face literally, like I got punched.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It hurts, and then it hurts to breathe a little bit too, which is always never fun. All right, we're gonna head to the Honda of Lincoln Hotline where we got Augie. Augie, what's going on?
Not much. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty well. We appreciate it. We're back in studio. Strick's looking
Texas A&M Augies.
No, Strick's looking to lose. Hey, look about that. Willie said Nate's correct. That's right. All right.
Dang.
So,
okay.
Augie, were you able to stay warm last week?
Barely. Yeah, I agree with Strick, man. It was brutal.
Brutal.
It was not good.
It was
All
not
right,
fun.
Augie, you know how this works. We're gonna have you stay on the line. We got to get Strick's answers first. See how many points you have to get in order to win this Stricken today. Strick, I won't give away too much because I know that you hate when I do that because people use the Google machine. We're talking about college basketball. You probably guess what it is. It's my favorite category.
What?
I'm not going to tell you. It's my favorite category. You know
the
what it's going to
ACC.
be.
It's going to be ACC
No, it's
laden.
not. No, it's not
get
the
ready.
ACC.
Get ready. It's going to be
No,
ACC laden.
It's not ACC.
Virginia Hokies are going to be all in it. Watch. Here we go.
No, the Hokies are coming off a bad loss. We don't need to talk about the Hokies. I'm surprised no one's brought it up to me. All right, Strick, are you ready?
All right, let's go.
All right, we will start in 3, 2, and 1. They remain the number 2 team in the country. UConn or Kansas?
UConn.
That is correct. This ACC school jumps 8 spots to number 14. Duke or Miami?
Miami.
That is correct. Despite being undefeated, they come in at 22. Hofstra or New Mexico?
Hofstra.
Nope, it's New Mexico.
Oh!
They are the first team out of the rankings at 26. Charleston or Marquette?
Charleston.
That is correct. This ACC school re-enters the poll after starting the season number 1 in the country.
Duke. North Carolina. Yes. Yes. Off the fingertips. You know what it was. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Should I give it to you?
Yeah, you facts.
Are you sure?
Facts off the
You
fingertips.
said, okay,
I switched up.
I let it play out. Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Which one are you going with?
North Carolina.
I'll give you one final chance.
North
Which one?
Carolina.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
You are going with North
I'm
Carolina.
going with North Carolina.
All right.
Boom shakalaka.
No, I will give it to you, even though that was a pump fake because you had it at the very end.
Where Rico? You saw I got it all. Everybody out here, text into the text line off the fingertips. It is good. The buzzer went off after the shot was released. Let's go.
All right, fair enough. I'll give it to you, but it's going to create some discrepancy. What do you think, Augie? Do we give it to him?
He's a Hall of Famer, so I guess we have to.
At least,
I think the light was going on.
Oh, Augie, I was about to say you were a gentleman and a scholar, but now I changed my mind.
All right, well, we'll give it to you, Strick. It was North Carolina. Luckily for you, Augie, I will give you till the buzzer, too, and maybe we'll give you the benefit of the doubt to help you out, too. I will say your money ball is a little bit easier than Strick's. Augie, are you ready?
I hope so.
All right, we will start in 3, 2, and 1. Despite 3 losses, they move back into the top 10. Baylor or Gonzaga?
I'm going to say Baylor.
Nope, it's Gonzaga. They're the top-ranked Big Ten school outside of Purdue. Wisconsin or Iowa?
Wisconsin.
That is correct. This Big Ten school drops out of the rankings. Michigan State or Illinois?
Illinois.
That is correct. This ACC school drops the most spots to 13. Virginia or Duke?
I'm going to go with the Dukies.
It's Virginia. They remain the number 1 team in the country.
That's Purdue.
See, this is why I wish Augie would have said that it didn't count, because Augie, that leaves you with 4 points. So that means that technically Strick did win. And we give him the pump fake. Augie, that leaves you with 4. Unfortunately, you didn't win. This just feels gross. This feels weird. I don't know if I want to give Strick the win, but we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
But here's what Strick, it is the season of giving.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I should have known better than to go with Duke. I hate Duke.
Augie, it is a season of giving. Stricky gets the win, but for what you just did, being a gentleman and a scholar, I'm going to give you the stricken. Either way.
Oh, you are a gentleman and scholar too, man.
Yes.
We appreciate
We're going to give
that.
you this.
That's
We're
right.
going to give you the stricken.
We're going to give you the stricken. A little
Just
bit
for
of
some
discrepancy.
love. It was not a discrepancy. Now, we're not going to say that. I got it all.
A referee might be getting fired.
replay.
A referee might have been fired after this game. Augie, we appreciate
Like
you.
I said, the light was going off behind the backboard, but
we give you the stricken.
We will. Augie, stay on the line. We'll make sure that Rico gets you your stricken. Congratulations. You will walk away with $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Strick, I guess I will go ahead and give you these.
Boom shakalaka.
Yes. Flawless.
No, not flawless.
I said, give me a hell yeah.
Text line, give me a hell yeah. I want it. Cheeseburger, now you know better. Cheeseburger, now you know better.
All right. I'll let you redeem yourself, Strick. Tiebreaker. After a tough loss to Boston College, The Virginia Tech Hokies fall the
No,
rankings.
wait, no, pause.
But-
I need to talk to Ohio Valley Husker. Oak Valley Husker, yes, sir. You know what it is. Oak Valley, tag, yes. You know what it is. Who else?
All right.
Bo Lever, all of them. Everybody. I love all you guys.
All right. Well, Strick, you do love everyone
Okay.
because
Tell me
Dirk
what the-
signed that.
tell me what-
All right. You're going to redeem yourself. You're going to prove me wrong. Virginia Tech falls out of the rankings. They still have votes to be ranked because my Hokies are good this year. How many votes to be ranked
14.
do they have?
14.
Boom
shakalaka!
I wish there was something to just be like, wrong. Are you kidding me? 14?
I don't know.
It's 57.
Oh, well, they're garbage.
Hey, 57. All right. I'm about to cut you off. We got to go to break. We'll be back. Second hour on the block. Stay with us.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to need off thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double at the Kinetics on Stowe Street.
Tougher sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. NTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. And if you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville, or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 66213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword "Come work at Continental today."
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Help me understand offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield when he said that he has a position-less offense.
We want to do all this fancy stuff that we're not capable of doing. Tricks don't last in football. You know, you may trick one team, but you're not going to trick a whole conference. That's what you're not going to do. You got to come play Big Ten football.
And that's what it might be, is another learning process, another coaching staff going to be humbled by the Big Ten before they realize you just got to at least get the basics.
He said he
first.
talked to Scott Frost, so he knows.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-07-9329.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team. No experience required. Enjoy a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118. or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Nate. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
We're back on the block. Thank you for joining us as a great listener and continued listener of 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, as well as On the Block. We thank you for the second hour, again, on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can always find us there streaming, as well as on the 93.7 theticketfm.com app. You can also find all the great content that comes out of that. Great stuff to start the show.
Great interaction. Shout out to the text line.
Text line is definitely on fire.
Back. They missed us. Also, shout out to Nyla. You see all the goodies we got?
Oh yeah,
it's big time.
Yeah, it is big time.
It is big time.
A lot of fattening stuff that I'm trying to get rid of. But nonetheless, listen.
Not New Year's yet.
There's something that I want to talk to everyone about. Again, the Sutter Heyman text line is always open to you at 402-464-5685, as well as the Honda Lincoln hotline. You can also tap in there. But there's something that there's just an angle about the transfer portal that is very interesting to me. And I want to talk to it not only about the transfer portal, but also about Brock Purdy and just all of the analytics and the things that he is, shattering right now as far as the mentality. And when you look at the likes of, we'll get into this also, we're going to have this discussion as well, talking about, what's going on with Russell Wilson and some of the veteran quarterbacks. We're going to have that conversation as well on the block. But now I want to talk about this part because colleges have to be ready to really have this discussion with not only their players, those who are entering the transfer portal, and the reason why people are jumping into the transfer portal. And I think it's more to it than just not fit, not playing time. I think it's more to it. I think it's a mentality part to it as well.
Yeah.
And I think we've made it so simple and so easy to be able to do it. I understand why kids do it for some parts, but there's something I want to really talk about. And it's a deep discussion. But when I look at Brock Purdy and when I think about myself as someone who came into the league, and let me give you a little background. Those who are listening may not know the full context of my background, because this is how I can lead into what I want to talk about, Nate. Being an undrafted free agent, not drafted into one of the, top classes that most people put out there, maybe top 5, top 3, which is the 96 class, which had the Ray Allen, Steve Nash. A lot of Hall of Famers came out of that class. Who else? Antoine Walker was in that. Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson. A lot of those guys that were in that grouping, right? Not being drafted. But there's something I want to talk about in which Brock Purdy is doing. And it was, I didn't start. I wasn't playing. I got cut. I got sent back to the CBA. I spent some time there. Wasn't playing on the team that I got sent to the CBA to, get traded to another team. I'm the backup to now Jalen Brunson's dad, Rick Brunson, who is back with the Knicks. Good. Shout out to Rick Brunson, who is back with the Knicks. I was his backup there in Quad Cities over in Davenport, Moline, Rock Island, that whole area over there. And come back about a month later, have a 40-point game up in Grand Rapids, and the Mavericks call me back. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about Brock Purdy. And this is what I want to talk about transfer portal. When I come back, there's a slim opportunity, a cracked door, no expectations. No one expects you to do well. They expect you just to kind of make it through. But there's something about what him and I share is that's being ready when called upon, which a lot of these young men, when they step onto campus with all these stars, when they step on the campus with 4 and 5 stars, some of them don't necessarily come prepared. There's something maybe they still need to work on. There's releases. It was easy for you going against a certain level of talent, but now the talent level has been raised. The bar has been raised significantly in that shorter period of time. Maybe there's some physicality aspects that you need to get. Maybe there's some weight. Maybe there's some strength. Maybe there's something about it that's not allowing you to be ready to hit the field. That's preparation. That's physicality. That's strength. That's mental preparedness. All of these things that when that opportunity hit for me and that door opened, where there was only 7 players in one of the biggest trades at that time that Don Nelson implemented, a 7-player trade, there was only 7 players. So I had to play. And that's when you've got to be ready. So all of that preparation that I had in the CBA, that's what Brock Purdy was basically doing. He was sitting there just basically soaking it up. He was sitting there studying. He was sitting there watching. He was sitting there doing all of those things so that when he was called upon, he didn't miss a beat. And that's what's happening right now, I think, in the transfer portal. And that's something I really wanted to discuss with you and get your thoughts on it, because this young man is now possibly, I'm not going to say he's going to be Tom Brady, because Tom Brady also shattered that mold, but he's now ready to break through, and he's possibly can do something that no quarterback has done, and that's to lead through a playoff win, going deep into the playoffs, maybe even getting to the Super Bowl. What's your thought?
Well, it's interesting they bring up Brock Purdy because I got a couple stats for you here, Strick. Brock Purdy, his ranks since week 13, passer rating 110, first in the NFL. Pass touchdowns per attempt, 7.5%, tied for first in the NFL. Win percentage, he's batting 1,000, first in the NFL. So you look at these numbers, and I think the biggest thing about someone like a Brock Purdy, Strick, is that preparedness, is being ready, because when he entered the league, taken as that Mr. Relevant, he was on the practice squad. Trey Lance was ahead of him, the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Yeah. Jimmy G, who's getting $25+ million a year, you're on the practice squad.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go. And the thing is now, too, is that I understand there's some situations like, I'll throw it from Nebraska's perspective. I'll say a Logan Smothers.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to go. When you're thrown into the fire, you perform at a high level. You do everything that you're asked. You aren't given the opportunity. Sure. But you have kids now that you go to a school as a true freshman, you're redshirted, and then you bounce.
You think that you're.
That's not even being prepared. That just doesn't make any sense.
That's
to
what
me.
I'm talking about.
So I think in your perspective, that's what I look at, and I wonder, Strick, is there anything that's going to change it? Because I look at someone like you, I look at someone like a Brock Purdy, I look at all these other players that do stick it out, do stick around. Look at Stetson Bennett. I know we joke about Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett worked his butt off, waited his turn, and now he is the favorite to be a 2-time national champion.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about preparedness, about being
And
ready.
he was ready.
He was ready.
Because JT Daniels went down,
Dropped the ball.
and JT Daniels never got his job back.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm talking about. It's like some of these kids have delusions of grandeur. Is they believe that if I show up, I show up. And I experienced that as a coach. I experienced it as a coach when I was in the Division II ranks down at the New Mexico Highlands in Las Vegas, where I got tricked and thought that was Las Vegas, Nevada, but it wasn't.
That'd be nice.
Being in Las Vegas, and I saw a bunch of Division I guys that had come back to the Division II ranks, and they felt entitled. Like they felt like just because I show up that the second team is beating the brakes off of you, just because I show up that I should start, or just because I'm, that guy who was that guy, I'm now that guy here. So I should be the guy who gets all the minutes. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? I had to almost go to battle with some of these cats about, you haven't done nothing. What have you done?
Right.
Show me something. Show me something on tape, something that you've done. And so that's why I love this Brock Purdy story. That's why I love the Stetson Bennett stories. That's why I even love the Dwayne Wade stories,
right,
where everybody passed over him. He finds himself up at Marquette, and he freaking becomes a Hall of Famer, just because of his work ethic and readiness. He didn't quit. He didn't leave. He stuck it out and became who he was going to be right there where he was. And that's what I'm hoping that we can find, is that young men, and that's why I love Rule in what he's saying. He's saying, I want guys that's not coming here just for some NIL deals. I want guys that's coming because they want to freaking be here. And that means something to me. That when guys show up on campus, it's not because you gave them the open door to the vault. It's because they want to freaking be here. And I think that's being missed. And I think that Brock Purdy is showing me and really revealing to me again, his story is revealing to me again about preparedness and readiness. And we've given away, we go like now, when I was coming up, some of you guys are listeners, and I don't want to age myself, but when I was coming up, we didn't have trophies for participation. You had 1 through 3, and if you weren't in that category, get better, come back next year, and hope that you are able to put in the work to become 1 through 3. And that stayed with me, as a young man. And I loved my dad for it. I loved what my dad did for me, Nate, and I'm going to let you talk. But I love that as a 12-year-old, he took me into the base gym where the men were at. And he said, get out there. And none of them wanted to let me play. All of the base, the little NCOs and the officers that were playing, big, strong men, none of them, they're looking at this 12-year-old kid and like, look, I'm about almost 6 foot. I'm about 14. I'm 6'2" in 8th grade. So I'm not a small kid. I'm a pretty big kid. I'm not strong yet, but I'm scrawny. Yeah. But my dad brought me in there and he said, no, he's playing. And let me take the beatings, and let me take the physicality, and let me take the losses, and let me do all of that so that I can learn from it. Not for me to go home and cry and be upset and be disappointed that I lost the game. No, come back the next week and get in the weight room and get stronger and get more physical and take the beating and take the pounding. And it made me who I was. That's what I'm hoping that can come out of this sooner or later, is to stop coddling and really get back to guys wanting to put in the work and be prepared.
Right. And that propelled you to the next level, Strick, and led you to where you are today. I want to ask you about this, because this kind of like goes with the conversation, might be a little bit different, but today it came out that Sam Hartman, who was prepared, played a high level at Wake Forest, has every accolade that you can have, has the most touchdown passes in the history of the ACC. How do you feel that when he enters the transfer portal, it's already basically decided where he's going? Because that, and like the preparedness goes into it, the NIL, the transfer portal, it all kind of comes full circle. But I just want to know your thoughts on that. And I want to know the text line too, 402-464-5685, because that's what doesn't sit right to me too. is that you have a kid who has performed at the highest of levels, played at Wake Forest, probably could be a kid that would get drafted in the NFL, wants to stay in school, and before he even enters the transfer, before his name's even officially in it, he is playing in a bowl game. It's already decided that Notre Dame is the front runner.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like tampering to me. And the problem with that is and this goes into the participation trophies too, Strick, because a lot of people will talk about my generation and say I'm the one that kind of grew up with that. Well, guess what? Who was giving out participation trophies? It was the parents.
Yes.
It was the adults. Like everyone wants to get mad at my generation. I didn't ask for the trophy. I was given it by the adults. And I think that's part of the problem that you come with Sam Hartman is that there are adults in the room that are saying, hey, we know that you're at a university right now. We know you're playing a bowl game. Hey, you should come here. It's already decided. That seems like professional athletics to me. That doesn't seem right. So that rubs me the wrong way.
So yeah, man. I mean, look, I don't want to upset anybody. That's not the heart of where I'm coming from. And I'm really coming from it from a standpoint of I'm excited for young men like that. I'm excited for young men that stay the course. You know, I can understand why a Logan Smothers right now or somebody may want to leave in the tail end of their story, right? It makes sense. In some instances, it makes sense. In a lot of them, it does not. I think what Cluster said in the segment, a couple segments before this, is similar to what's happening right now. And you have to ask the question of what's going on at Texas A&M. Why is it that all of these 4- and 5-star guys have left? And it because you paid them, didn't get an ROI, and then you didn't want to complete the deal.
They didn't want to finish out.
Didn't want to finish out the payments of the deal because you're not getting. And that's what it comes down to. Why I like what Rule is saying. Rule is basically saying, don't come here from this because we don't want you. And I can accept that. Because that means you're going to bet on yourself and you're going to bet on those young men and young men that you have in your locker room, and you're going to bet on your crew to develop them and make them great. I love that. I can get behind that. I'm in for that all day. I'm down. But this other story, that Texas A&M flow, that reminds me of when I was coaching, and I cannot stand it. It irks me to my core. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It can be volleyball, baseball, softball. It doesn't matter. That stuff irks me to the core because I've seen stories now when these young men, had they just stayed, had they just waited a few more months, had they just held on, their potential, they were next up.
Your opportunity was coming.
It was there. And now you missed it because check this out. Let's just check this out. I'm going to throw this at the text line, 402-464-5685. Check this. Pittsburgh, Jordan Addison, Blitnikoff. What happened to him last year?
Got hurt.
This year.
Got hurt. Didn't perform at a high enough level.
You see what I'm saying? Is it?
Was that the best decision for him?
Now, I can understand a Jordan Addison situation. Why? You lose your best quarterback, who helped you to get to 1,500 yards in that season. You lost him, right? Then you lose your offensive coordinator. So you've got to wonder who's going to be throwing to me, so there's some things to consider there. Now, look, he didn't, his catch numbers were almost half down, but he still had a pretty productive season. But at the same time, was it the reason, or do you feel that you got your money's worth for what you put forth on an NIL deal based on what we've heard through the atmosphere?
Well, Strick, it's going to be the same thing with Sam Hartman. I mean, it's literally the same exact thing. And that's my frustration, is that you have these schools like Pittsburgh, like Wake Forest. You're basically just becoming a farm system for these schools. Like, if schools are going to basically reach out to you while you're already at a university and say, hey, I'm going to give you X amount of $1 million to come to your school, of course the kid's going to say yes.
Of course.
But the thing is, that's my problem.
But is it the best fit?
Exactly. And I think that's doing a disservice to the kids. That's it. And I'm not saying that Sam Hartman's not going to be successful at Notre Dame. I think he's a talented athlete, and I think he'll probably be good at Notre Dame. But, he is the all-time leader in ACC football touchdowns, all time. And you're telling me that just out of the blue, out of nowhere, oh, he hasn't entered the transfer portal yet, but he's already decided he's going to Notre Dame. That does not seem right to me.
Yeah. That's
right to me.
And that goes back to some of the stuff that we need to figure out. Like I can get behind what Cluster said about progression and not necessarily what I was saying. I can get behind it's progression where we have to figure out it's not a problem. Let's just figure out how to progress through it and make it better. And so there's got to be some things, and it seems to me that the freaking NCAA is quiet. They pop their head out when they want to throw a violation on somebody real quick. They'll pop their head out, but then they disappear and they go in there, great good night, and like I would have to wonder what my ROI is for them. Like all the money they're getting, where's my ROI for what you're putting together? So I don't know. It's just my thoughts. It's my Monday or my Tuesday Taco Tuesday rant.
Taco Tuesday rant. I like that. Maybe we'll do that every Taco Tuesday. Our Taco Tuesday rants. I agree with you, Strick, and it's something we need to discuss and something that needs to be fixed. And who better to ask about the NIL transfer portal situation than Steve Sipple? He knows a thing or two about that. He'll also break down Garrett Nelson's departure. What does that mean for Nebraska? O'Shawn Mathis also declaring for the NFL draft. We'll get to it right after this. Stay with us on the block. 937 The Ticket.
Think having a career in plumbing. Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting, custom handrails, industrial cleaning, and more. ESC provides custom stainless steel and meet deadlines and within your budget. They can contact fabrication and sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. Our holiday gift card special is back. When you purchase a $50 gift card, receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, Cactus, and all Lincoln Good Sense subs. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day workweek schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. And if you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska. and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
This winter season, James Enterprise Incorporated reminds us to slow down and obey all traffic signs and signals in all child-filled areas around schools, parks, and playgrounds. Use caution, courtesy, and common sense when children are present because they are not always mindful of traffic hazards. Our children's lives are precious, so let's make sure their safety is a priority when we drive on our roadways. This special reminder is brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. James Enterprise Incorporated, wishing all a happy new year.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Let's get water cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
It's like when people thought that Jared Crick was amazing. I mean, he's still really good. He made it to the NFL.
No,
and then that season after,
no,
Ndamukong Suh left, it was like, oh yeah, Jared Crick's okay.
That's completely, and I hate that narrative because it's false. Now you're in trouble. Look up Jared Crick's sophomore to junior numbers.
Sophomore year, 9.5 sacks.
How many tackles for loss?
12.5.
That's all with Sue. Now,
Yep.
the next year.
He had 9.5 sacks.
Well, that's the same.
And 14.5
Oh,
tackles
and that's
for loss.
more. So he is actually better without Sue.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock. Visit the website at cpmercado.com. Currencies.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Oh, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A very happy Tuesday to all of you. Hope you had a great Christmas holiday season. You're listening on the block 93.7 The Ticket. My name's Nate Brennan. He's the Husker Hall of Famer, the 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. We want to hear from you. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream is up. Check out what's going on here in studio because we're back, Strick. We are back. We're back in studio. Nice to see that the weather is warming up a little bit. Still not really what we're looking for, but it's getting there slowly but surely. We're going to head to the Honda Lincoln hotline where we got Steve Sipple. Husker Online also joins us for early break every single Monday through Friday morning. Sip, what's going on?
Oh, how are you guys doing? Sounds like you're having fun.
Oh, we are having a fun time. We were getting pretty heated here in the last segment, and we'll go ahead and break some of that down. But again, Steve Sipple, Husker Online, joining us right now. Sip, first question I want to ask you, the biggest news of the day, Garrett Nelson has officially decided to enter his name into the NFL draft. First reactions from you.
It's a blow. I mean, it's a blow to the defense. I mean, it is. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat this stuff. That's a big loss when you add Garrett Nelson's loss at that position, along with O'Shawn Mathis along with Caleb Tanner. I mean, he didn't. I mean, I know what people are. I know how Nebraska fans will react. They'll say, "Oh, Sipple, they didn't get that much production from those guys." Yeah, but those were by far the best guys on your roster at that position, by far, not close. I mean, they were. There's a big gap between O'Shawn, Garrett, Caleb, and the other guys. So now you got to address that. Jamar Butler's got to get a lot better. Gunnarson's got to get a lot better. You better find somebody else. It makes sense for Garrett to make the move now. I think he's 23. Look it up, but I think he's 23. This would be about the right time for him to do it. It makes sense from his standpoint, I guess. I mean, I would like to see him come back, but he's a good player. He's a very good college player, and a lot of very good college players can make it in the NFL, especially if you're a very good college player and you'll run down the field with your Blade on kickoff coverage. You'll do what you have to do on special teams, and Garrett could be really valuable in that way. Not that he couldn't be valuable as a defender, but it all makes sense to me. It's just that, you're about one or two guys away from, if you lose, a couple other guys, you're really going to be in a spot unless you're just totally relying on the portal.
Sip, listen, there's some things I could really dig into, but we don't have enough time on this show to do it. So let me just cross over real quick because there's a few days away. We're looking at Thursday at 6 p.m. Iowa Hawkeyes will be coming in here, coming off of a really tough loss. This isn't an easy stretch, these next 5 games that they got to go through. One, you're going to get a shot out of it at home. You're coming off of a win against Queens. Played pretty good in some instances, but they're still struggling from shooting the ball. Iowa plays great defense, and they're going to be coming in here, I'm sure, pretty mad, and I'm sure they've had to run their butts off, and they've had to do stadium stairs, and they're probably, after taking the kind of loss that they got, that drubbing that they had. So what's your expectation for this next stretch for the Huskers, and what would you like to see out of them as they get into the meat of their Big Ten season?
Well, I mean, again, these games are critical, Eric. As you know, this is a game that you probably need to get if you're Nebraska at 0-2 in the Big Ten. Okay, you're 0-2 in the Big Ten. You have a home game that's gettable, very gettable against Iowa. This isn't, Iowa's a decent team, not great. This is not as good as they've been. And then you go on the road for 2 games. This is what you got. I mean, it feels like I like it. I like it from a fan standpoint, from a media standpoint, because there's urgency attached to this game Thursday. What would I like to see from Nebraska? Fred's got a team that we've talked about that plays hard-nosed defense most of the time. Didn't play enough against Kansas State, but generally speaking, this team plays good defense. They hustle to the ball. They win a lot of loose ball opportunities. They got to shoot the ball better. I'm sure what Fred's trying to do is come up with offense. And you got to start thinking too about keeping guys healthy. If you lose Walker or Gary or Bandamel or Greasel, any of those guys, it's trouble. So now you're heading into the Big Ten grind. I don't want to sound like a siren here, but I'm not an alarmist. But you got to think about that. It's got to be in the back of your mind. It's got to be in the back of your mind a little bit. Got to get a win, though. That's what it comes down to. I know it sounds kind of weird to say got to get a win, but you want to start 0-3 with 2 road games facing you. That's not the kind of situation you want to be in.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it from that perspective. That's a good point. Steve Sipple, Husker Online, joins us right now. Sip, I guess this can go into football and basketball. I don't know if you saw today, Sam Hartman has officially announced that he will enter the transfer portal. They're saying that Notre Dame is going to be the front runner in this one. And what I think is, well, he entered the transfer portal less than 12 hours ago. How can he already declare school? Do you think this is going to become kind of an issue with this new transfer portal NIL era where we're basically having a minor league farm system for some of these middle tier schools for some of the top level schools in the country?
Yeah, I mean, it was a concern of mine before this all started. I mean, I talked about it a lot on our show, got a lot of pushback. from people. But no, all this is very predictable. What's happening? I don't. I'd like to keep this conversation light. But what did people think was going to happen? That coaches weren't going to tamper? Did they really think that? And that there was a way to police it, a viable way to police it? No, there wasn't. This is all very predictable. The things that Matt Rule talked about last week, the amount of tampering, going to get players off other people's rosters, the things that go on with NIL, all of this is, to me, very expected. I don't have any now. The most productive thing to do would be to address ways to improve it. And now that's hard. It's hard to do because you don't have much enforcement staff. So you leave it up to the schools, and that's not, leaving it up to the schools. There's schools, let's just put it this way. There are some schools that have more scruples than others, and the ones with scruples tend to get, in a sense, penalized in this sort of situation. So that's a mess. Not unexpected.
What do you expect that the NCAA or anybody is going to be able to do, to deal with this situation? I mean,
the NCAA, Eric, is about to go away.
That's what I say. I say
powerless.
I say they're very powerless. It's like them pricking the finger of a horse or something.
The NCAA's issue. Now, this is where I get in hot water with people. The NCAA wasn't equipped to handle any of this, and I will not go. Now, the NCAA for too many years dragged its feet, and especially on the pay for play. Okay, we'll not call pay for play. We'll call it, NIL. But it did drag its feet for a long time. But it's the states that rammed it down our throats, ultimately, that rammed it down the NCAA, that basically threatened the NCAA. It's the states. It's Gavin Newsom. It's state legislatures. The ball got rolling, of course, in California. Gavin Newsom, go figure. And it got rolling there, and then the NCAA was powerless. This to me is not an NCAA. It's the only way it's an NCAA issue is for too many years the NCAA dragged its feet, and you could point the finger at the NCAA in that regard. But no, this was the state. This was a lot of politics, and this was a lot of fans and media and sanctimonious fans and media pumping their chests and saying, pay the players. And I think a lot of them knew that there was going to be problems, but didn't care. And this is what you're going to get. I don't like to hear a lot of complaining about it because we brought it on ourselves.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, Stip, and like me and Strick always say, once you get the toothpaste out of the tube, there's no getting it back in. I mean, it just at this point, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing you can really do.
I don't know if that's true. I think that you could, say to student athletes right now, okay, now we're not going to allow transfers in your freshman year, your first year, and maybe not your second year. Now you could start making moves like that. But again, it kind of, we all are into this player empowerment thing. So I don't know if he could, you might be able to push some of the toothpaste back in. I do that sometimes with Trixie's. I try to push some of the toothpaste back in so she doesn't know I used it, but it usually doesn't work very well.
Yeah, I would assume that it doesn't work too well. Sip, we appreciate you as always. If people want to get more great content from you and your team, how can they do so?
Well, I would go to huskeronline.com, huskeronline.com, and I think you can, for several more months, you can join for about $25. And it's Robin Washut and Sean Callahan and Brian Munson and Abigail Barmore and myself and others, Grant Hansen. Just a good team. It's a good team. And it's, we're pretty obsessive. So the stories are usually pretty up to date.
Yeah, you guys have great content as always. And Sip, we appreciate you. We will go ahead and talk to you next week.
All right, I'll be listening. Take care, guys.
All right, there he goes. Steve Sipple, Husker Online, also joins us for early break every single day, Monday through Friday. Good stuff, Strick. Gives us a good perspective.
Yeah.
It's Wild
Good
Wild
insight.
West.
It is. It's crazy.
It's
and
crazy.
it's not, and like I say, the NCAA doesn't have really any power to do anything about it.
Nothing's changed.
Yep.
But that's just kind of the situation that we're in. But we got to take a quick break. We got DP. We got Jay back in studio. The boys are officially back. The boys are back in town. We're going to have them join us here in just a second. Make sure you stay with us on the block. 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here for Little Brooklyn Daycare. Look, I have 2 young kids, and my wife and I both have full-time jobs. So we need a place we can trust to take care of our kids during the day. That place is Little Brooklyn Daycare. And now they're enrolling for kids from 2 old. They 742 you and your kids. Little Brooklyn Daycare, located in Fallbrook in Northwest Lincoln.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmont and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight is may be required. To learn more, Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Help me understand offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield when he said that he has a position less often.
All this fancy stuff that we're not capable of doing. Tricks don't last in football. You know, you may trick one team, but you're not going to trick a whole conference. That's what you're not going to do. You got to come play Big Ten football.
And that's what it might be, is another learning process, another coaching staff having to be humbled by the Big Ten before they realize you just got to at least get the basics.
He said
down
he
first.
talked to Scott Frost, so he knows.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income. A leading financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
We should see decreasing cloud cover and warmer conditions today with a high of around 43. Winds a bit brisk out of the south-southwest at 15 to 20. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of around 29. We'll see increasing cloud cover late in the day tomorrow, but mild temps with a high of 46. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's crazy when you come in here and the old school crew pops into the building.
The block is hot.
Because my goodness, it is, boy, listen, it is funny. I wish you could hear what we hear before the mics turn on. But we ain't gonna throw nobody under the bus. You're on the block. This is the final segment, the crossover. The old school crew is in the building. Jay Foreman as well as DP. DP, it is good to see you, my friend.
Good to be seen.
He's
coming
back.
off the surgery. You look good. You look healthy. And that's a good thing, man. We're glad to have you back, man, and looking forward to hearing you on the show. But so look, we're not gonna get crazy, but listen.
We're gonna get crazy. That's why my sole purpose to come back today is to stir up Jay Foreman.
I see. That's the part I'm talking about right
I'm
here.
on the downswing, baby. We looking at 23.
2023.
So we crank it up real quick. Why not?
See, the sole purpose. What I fully have missed is being a contrarian, just so I know to get Jay started. I could 100% agree with Jay Foreman, but I would miss out on the beauty of watching this Ivy League brain just go crazy on something.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Is there games tonight?
Yeah.
Because see what happened. You'll set me off, and then I'm just gonna be putting people on blast all game.
Twitter be fire
I'm
on fire.
gonna tell you this. This dude, number 55 from the Packers, got lit up like a Christmas tree. He ran up in the club and got pistol whipped. Dog, how you not see that number 30 coming, and then he flat backed you like that?
Flat backed you.
And then
Bosworth you.
Hey, then put his hand up, asked to get help. But nah, dog. No, you roll over and just look around, make sure the play went somewhere else.
He didn't do him like Bo Jackson did Bosworth.
Dog,
it was worse.
He blew him up. Dog.
It was worse.
Yeah.
Well, but it was a 30 number. Anytime a 50 number get beat up by a 30 number, people going to talk about it.
Man.
Well, Bo Jackson was 34.
And Bosworth was a 55. That's what I'm saying. Anytime you get a 30 number that roll up. I wanted to ask Jay about, I don't know if you saw the play. I forget which game it was, but there was a defensive player who knocked down an offensive player and then
the Missouri game
offered his hand to help the dude up.
Like 33 for real though.
And his teammate came out of nowhere and was like,
"Nope."
Yeah. 33. They start fighting. Yeah, that's
on
real,
the field.
Man. That's just a mentality check. We ain't playing no games.
Yeah,
dog.
that part.
Like, nah, don't. What you helping him up for, man? This ain't Pee Wee League.
Yeah.
We ain't buddies out here. We playing football, man.
Yeah.
Roughhousing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you up here helping him up. That's a problem.
After we hard foul, we walk over you. We used to walk over you after a hard foul. We ain't trying to pick you
on
up.
your hands.
Well, that's the Tyronn Lue, the whole Allen
Yeah.
Iverson. You know, I'm gonna step over you.
See, I'm gonna tell you like this though. If I was Tyronn Lue and he stepped over me like this, I'm just reaching to God. hey,
I get what I get. I
hey,
get what I get.
Okay, you go ahead. I'm just praising the Lord.
Yeah.
But did you see?
I'm doing Black Power though.
Yeah.
But did you see the one? Did you see the one
Aaron
over the
Gord.
weekend where Hunter Dickerson? He
from Michigan.
he stood
He too
stood
much.
over him and he hit him with the
do too much.
hit him with the Dominican Sue.
He do too much.
The step on.
Dickinson is everything about Dickinson is his last name without the ensign on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So-
and he represents Michigan.
What are we doing? We wilding on the block.
He represents Michigan. If you think of a Michigan guy, I had high school teammates that went to Michigan. There's some people I love that went to Michigan, but overall, Michigan football players and basketball players. Let me.
So is that why Michigan State went in on him in
let
the
me take that back. There's
in the tunnel?
There's almost a vast majority of Michigan players that act like Dickinson without the ensign on there.
Okay.
And they think they.
So is that why Michigan State went in on the Michigan player because they like that?
Look, man, you make a wrong turn in North Omaha, you mess around, just leave like what they say with the thong and a toothbrush. You just leave with nothing.
That's
just the way it is.
Yeah.
You come. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
And lucky you leave with that.
Hey, and luckily if you have, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I won't say his name. He's one of my best friends from college, right? Yeah. And he was one of the dudes. I used to mess with him. He was a lifer, right? He got like 2 masters. His parents in the servicemen. They school. I told him we went out in Minneapolis. We went to South Beach. He wanted to go over to Princess Club. I said, listen here. After 2:00, you meet us here, because if you get lost, it's fair game. He know everything. He thought he was going to do something he wanted to do, right? Guess where I picked him up at? Bus station. Sit there, big old knot on his head, and
bucket naked.
Hey, and somebody left a red apple on him too. Sleep. 6:00 in the morning. We got action.
See, I told you.
Wow.
See, I've been sitting at home listening to Ivy League Jay Foreman, and he's breaking it down for y'all in that official.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm Chuck Foreman's son. Let me hit you with this gospel. But all the while, I'm like, where's that other?
So you was like basically what he was. DP was Bud Crawford in the first 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And then now he back. You hit him with that 2-piece chicken wing.
Somebody got to go in the corner and go, why are you playing with him, champ?
Hey,
why are you playing with him,
Jay
champ?
Foreman was out in the cold. That's why. He left the other Jay Foreman home.
That brother was cold out there. My boy from Cleveland.
Minnesota is not warm.
Didn't Deacon Jones used to sack the quarterback and help him up?
I
Say,
don't know.
God bless you.
Yeah,
Did he?
Yeah, because he say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But he was head slapping cats on the way.
Oh
there.
yeah, no, he would
slapping
sack him. He'd hit him hard.
Yeah.
Then he would
Well,
help him up and say, God bless you.
So that's the Mean Joe Green rule. What they do with the hit into the to the helmet.
The quarterback said the quarterback
him in the
back
ear
then
hole.
we're talking about like if you ever got blessed by Deacon, it wasn't a blessing.
But see, back then though, them cats like if somebody took a shot at you, they fighting.
Yeah. This
Station ID. Hold on 1 second.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Baby,
it's hot. It's hot right
Lock
here.
is hot.
I thought it was cold outside, but it's hot in here. My God. It's getting hot in here.
I need to ask,
so take up.
I need to ask Jay. And I know that you have a Mac Jones defender in the room. But see, I want to know that as you as a linebacker, if Mac Jones dropped down to his shoulder at your knees,
oh yeah,
how would that have played out?
I would have had to kick him, dude. Straight up. Like I'm trying to kick you dead in your face, like
Tiger.
Because here's the biggest thing.
Tiger knee.
Here's the biggest thing. It is honest to God truth. It's probably basketball too. You play hard. We'll play within the rules, but everybody has. Look, we got to feed ourselves off of this, right?
Right.
There is no. Oh, you can come back next year. You're on scholarship. You can get cut. Your career could be over because of injury. So you do something like that, purposeful like that. Oh yeah, well, I got to get you.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
I
Let me ask you a question about that then.
Look at Pat's fan over
No,
here.
I am no. He's a dirty player. Don't call me a defender.
That's your man.
No, hey, Bailey Zappi's my man.
I got something real talk I want to throw out right now, because what's you guys' thought about the unwritten rule of, like, I saw it last night. There was a game that ended, and I think it was Milwaukee against who did they play? Milwaukee
Celtics, right?
played the Celtics.
Yeah.
So the Celtics was going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
The shot clock was still not there. It was over with. He kind of played out the shot clock. But then you have Zion Williams,
They'll hit you with the windmill.
who hit with the windmill. So what do you guys think about the unwritten rule? Are you for it, or are you with just kind of letting the game end?
Just depend. Well, see, it's different. Zion Williams and I
ain't seen nobody go after Zion.
I'm a firm believer of doing unwritten rules, right? Because I always feel like I believe in the sports guy. It will come back to you.
Yeah.
Right. Team wise and stuff. I'm always big. Like if you try to, like run up, run up and score on somebody, do something like that, it'll come back on you. It seems like there was some bad blood from the Phoenix series the year prior. I mean, that's when you listen to him, that's what he said. So he just let you know,
because he didn't play in that series.
He just let you know.
But is that the real
here.
question? Is the real question to me is there a bigger bunch of jerks in the NBA than the Phoenix Suns? Is there a team?
Chris Paul leads that
Chris
charge.
Paul is on there with Mac Jones.
Well,
now, where Chris Paul gets a pass because he's on them commercials and he's an NFL or NBA.
Well, he's trying to
PA.
become he Uncle Chris Paul, right?
No, he's a Players Association president, but he dirty though. Because I'm gonna tell you when here's where I knew Chris Paul was a chump. When he let Rondo square up and bust him dead in his mouth,
spit on him,
and he ain't do nothing. That let me know you soft.
Yeah,
because you ain't gonna do that, man.
Is there is because for a long time the Knicks were that team. Then it was the Pistons.
But were they
is
dirty?
Is it Phoenix now? Is Phoenix now?
CDP. I didn't. Now the stuff like Bill Laimbeer did undercutting guys.
Yeah.
That's the unwritten rule. Don't
Right.
do.
Like
But the hard fouls that they used to give Jordan, take that. All that. Celtics, Lakers.
Well, what Zeke said? Zeke said nobody.
Don't sleep on Terry Cummings and the Bucks.
That even when they hurt Jordan, you never worried about Jordan. Like you never went, hey, we got to look out for MJ. MJ.
Yeah.
And then, but listen here,
because there were some those pull downs, those clotheslines.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman and caught him with a couple of clotheslines.
You never worried whether Jordan was okay or not.
Well, they needed to, but let me tell you.
Yeah, I would say that he didn't have nobody to really.
But let me
kinda,
tell you,
until Oak.
Hold on.
Oak was that
Oak
though.
got there, and then don't let like Bill Winnington and start, and then Bill Cartwright will fire off.
Yes, sir.
But let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Don't sleep on Mike, because when Mike when the dog kind of came out of Mike, Mike Mike throw them hands. Same like with LeBron and old boy Stevenson.
Yeah.
You keep poking the bear,
right,
or the lion, he gonna mess around and take your head off.
Right. Like
And
Kobe and Chris Childs.
Right.
One.
But Chris Childs though was quick with it though. I don't know where Chris Childs is at. Celebrity boxing. I'm taking Chris Childs in a 2-round fight against any NBA point guard ever.
Chris Childs.
Kobe tried to square up on Kobe ate that 2-piece.
I would say
the chicken wing.
Popeyes.
Mashed potato side.
Everybody except for that other Strick.
We wild.
Except for that other Strick.
Oh yeah, don't mess with Rod. Don't mess with Rod. Don't mess with Rod.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't nobody throwing hands with Rod.
You gotta watch out for the light skinned brother that don't say nothing.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
Get
don't mess with Rod.
face. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna talk about this about Randy Gregory and old boy from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Fighting after first. Hey, I gotta give it back to my man, the Chargers. He ate that punch. You want to get busy?
That's what we're doing.
Right. Okay, I'm cool with that. There's Matt O'Dwyer.
Mm-hmm.
I play with him. He's a notoriously dirty player. Played against him for years at the Jets.
Yeah.
He was at Cincinnati, and he was a good player, but he was one of those guys that, got to do a little extra. So he kicked. We in an extra point. You done scored extra point. You try to come cut your boy.
Oof.
Like as I'm standing there,
right?
I'm like, okay. I mean, look, man. I thought maybe you fell or something. Well, then he starts wolfing, and then he says something that just was over the line. But then we have a couple more series. I said, look, dude, I'll be over at that locker room after the game. Literally went in there, took my pads off, went right up in that locker room, and I was like, "We're going at it." Corey Dillon was in his jock strap. And Corey Dillon, gangster as a ball, right? He in his jock. He's like, "Look, slow down, little cuz. Slow down, little cuz. I'll take care of him." I literally walked up in there like, "Let's go."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Sometimes that happens.
But you notice it was Jay that was clothed. And
well, I just took the pads off. Dom Capers in there talking. I just put the pads off.
No, we know
right
some
up.
players, especially in the NBA, who wait till they get down to their jockstrap to start fights.
Let's see.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm not fighting in no jock.
Well, that's an NBA thing, and
I'm not
I didn't
fighting
know
in
it.
my jock.
I'm not doing that. I can't do it. But I tell you, the one that didn't want no smoke was Andre Rison. When he did that to Deion, he gave him that left
was throwing
well, you know why,
haymaker.
but you know why, though? He just said left eye.
and that's where he was hitting him right up in your
left eye.
Deion was giving him haymakers.
Haymakers with the lefts, just straight bangers. I'll never forget that. He and then when it got to the end of it, and the refs jumped in, Rison jumped behind the ref. He jumped behind the ref like he was gonna do. Yeah, you
What's
was.
the song? What's the song he was singing? Your roof is on fire.
Hey man, you already ate about 5 of them punches though.
Yeah.
People don't realize how long and big Deion is.
Yeah.
See, people think of Deion as a cover corner, and they see when you just say, if you close your eyes and say cover corner, you think of like Darryl Green or somebody that's like an Aaron Glenn or something, because Aaron Glenn, like, he'll run his little butt up in there a little bit, but Aaron Glenn gonna just hold him and just Jay come finish, right?
Yeah.
So Deion a big dude, man, and he got long arms. So when he had Andre Rison was hitting him with them haymakers, hey,
I'll never forget
that's
it.
just here, just
yeah.
And what New Jack say? In broad daylight.
In broad daylight. Yeah, that's good stuff, bro. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all got going on there. What y'all gonna talk about today, DP?
Garrett Nelson,
an outside edge guy.
What's necessary?
Yeah, you got to have conversation.
All right.
They brought in 50. They got 50, so then that just. But I'm a firm believer at this, man. I'm a firm believer at this. Your best bet is taking the known. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you go in the NFL at 23 or 24, at this point they don't give a damn, because when you play linebacker, you dispensable, dog.
Yeah.
And when you know what else you're going to be when you're going to be in that kickback league. You know what that means? You don't know what that means, does it?
Mm-hmm.
That means you're going to be kick stepping on punt return.
They'll get
into it.
We go cover it in 5.
They'll get into it. Jay Wilder on the block. But unfortunately, we gotta go.
I told you.
We gotta get out of here. Jay Wilder. Catch them on old school right after this.
This winter season, James Enterprise Incorporated reminds us to slow down and obey all traffic signs and signals in all child-filled areas around schools, parks, and playgrounds. Use caution, courtesy, and common sense when children are present, because they are not always mindful of traffic hazards.